Assalamu alaikum. Yes, welcome to the unfortunate session of rational numbers 2. Actually, I was thinking that I am recording, but after this step, the video stopped and I couldn't even recognize it. So I have explained most of the most of the concepts of rational numbers. So now I will not write it one more time, but I'll explain whatever it is written. Just go through it. I'll make it fast, but wherever it is necessary I'll make it slow. Okay, and if the video is lengthy or little going slow, so please watch it with 1.25 speed. Okay, you can change the speed settings, don't go for 1.5, you will not understand anything. So now I think I have explained till commutative property. For subtraction it is not satisfied, and for multiplication, yes, it is satisfied. If you multiply two rational numbers with different order, you will get the same solution. And if you divide two rational numbers in a different order, okay, it will not be satisfied. And I told at this point that division is not satisfied for any property under rational numbers, because 0, if I divide any number with a 0, any number with 0, it is not defined in in mathematics. Dividing any number with 0 is not at all defined in mathematics. So no property will get satisfied for division. Now associative property, this property is mainly for operating more than two rational numbers. So here we take 3, but it can be 4, 5, whatever it is. But what is the concept of this property? Operating two rational numbers in different groups. For example, I have taken 3 rational numbers, and if I add 2 rational numbers first and add the third rational number, and in the second case if I add second and third rational number and add the sum to first rational number, in both the senses you have to get the value same. So associative property, addition is satisfied, subtraction is not satisfied, multiplication is satisfied, and division is not satisfied. Now the important thing is distributive property. It is multiplication over addition. Okay, so that means you are distributing multiplication under addition. That means when you are adding two rational numbers, how it happens? The multiplication will be distributed to both the terms, a into b plus a into c. So in the same way, multiplication over subtraction. So here also when you multiply, the multiplication is distributed to both the terms. A is multiplied to b minus a is multiplied to c. Okay, now the important thing is additive identity. The name itself explains you addition and identity. That means whenever identity comes, you have to get the same answer. So what is the number that can be added in order to get the same answer? Yes, obviously 0. So 0 is called the additive identity. In the same way, multiplicative identity, whenever identity is there, you have to get the same answer. But in multiplication, what number should be what number should be multiplied to get the same answer? 1. So 1 is the multiplicative identity. Now let us come to additive inverse. See the name, remember the name and the concept related to the name. Okay, inverse means what? When I add, when I am talking about adding, addition, the inverse will be with opposite sign. If it is positive, negative will be inverse, and if it is negative, positive will be inverse. Okay, and now in the same way, multiplicative, when we come to multiplicative inverse, if for a, the multiplicative inverse will be reciprocal of that number. Numerator will come to denominator and denominator will go to numerator. So for a, 1 by a is additive inverse, and for 1 by a is for a, 1 by a is multiplicative inverse, and for 1 by a is multiplicative inverse. So now here I have discussed what kind of problems can be asked using properties. Suppose they will give you this one. We can easily see that now there are two terms and we have 3 by 7 and 3 by 7 we have common. So what is the property where 3 by 7 is multiplied to one number and 3 by 7 is multiplied to another number and you have addition? So that means multiplication you are distributing over addition. So can we write it as 3 by 7 multiplied by minus 4 by 5 plus 5 by 9. So where do we see this property? We see it in distributive property. In the same way, answer you have seen, but just see, you are multiplying three rational numbers and same three rational numbers. But first you have multiplied first and second, and in the second case you have multiplied second and third. So what is this? Different groups is associative property. And they may ask you to simplify this. Minus 2 by 5 multiplied by 3 by 7 plus 1 by 14 into 2 by 5. What is common here? 2 by 5 is common. So when I take 2 by 5, what is left out here? Minus of minus plus 3 by 7 and plus 1 by 14. Okay, try after seeing the what is this called as going through the problem, pause here, copy the question and repeat this. Okay, then you will easily do. See, 2 by 5 I have taken common, 3 by 7 plus 1 by 14. Why 3 by 7? Minus of minus. And after that 7 and 14, what is the LCM? Take prime factorization. 7 into 2 will be 14. So in order to make 14, I multiply 2 to denominator. So when I am multiplying 2 to denominator, I have to multiply the same 2 to numerator also. And now I get 14 and 14. Okay. When you have same denominators, you can copy, you can add the numerators. 7 by 14, common factor is 7, 7 ones are 7, 7 2s are 14, and 2 by 5 into 1 by 2. In numerator and denominator you have 2, so when you cancel, the answer will be 1 by 5, 1 by 5. Okay, now the next one what I was talking about is here, additive inverse. So what is the additive inverse? What did I tell you? For positive it will be negative and negative it will be positive. 2 by 8 it is minus 2 by 8, minus 5 by 9, 5 by 9. 2 by minus 9 it will be, see, when you have negative in denominator, what you are supposed to do? You have to divide, because in rational numbers we cannot have negative in denominator. So plus divided by minus, it becomes minus 2 by 9. And what is the reciprocal additive inverse? It is plus 2 by 9. Okay, and now in the same way multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative means reciprocal. Numerator will go to denominator, denominator will go to numerator. So minus 13, it can be written as minus 13 by 1. 1 by minus 13 is equal to minus 1 by 13. So now this question is important. Multiply 6 by 13 by reciprocal of minus 7 by 16. When they have given, read these kind of, whenever it is given in words, read it twice. Okay, multiply 6 by 13. That means you have to multiply 6 by 13 to what? Reciprocal of minus 7 by 16. But first write it in mathematical form, expression form. 6 by 13 multiplied by reciprocal of minus 7, 7 by 16. What is reciprocal? Reciprocal is nothing but writing multiplicative inverse. So 6 by 13 multiplied by, what is reciprocal of this? It is 16 by minus 7. But minus 7, I cannot put it in denominator, so I kept it in numerator. Plus divided by minus is minus. Now multiplication is nothing but multiplying numerator to numerator, denominator to. Some students will do, when you have multiplication also they try to take LCM. My dear students, LCM is not for multiplication and division, it is only for addition and subtraction. So it is 6 multiplied by minus 16 by 13 multiplied by 7. So understood? Now 6 multiplied by 16 is 96, 13 multiplied by 7 is 91. So since this is an improper fraction, I can make it as mixed fraction by dividing 96 with 91. So let me show you 96 and 91. 91 ones are 91. What is the remainder? 5. So I will write it as 1 5 by 91. Okay. Now I was actually the last thing which I was doing is this one. These concepts are very important. The rational number that does not have a reciprocal. See, okay, I'll explain you one more time. Okay, I have explained here. But what is the first question? Yeah, the rational number that does not have a reciprocal. Here you have reciprocal for every number. For 1 it is 1 by 1. For 2 by 3 it is 3 by 2. For 5 by 9 minus 5 by 9 it is actually 9 by minus 5, but negative you cannot keep it in denominator. So plus divided by minus is minus 9 by 5. You have reciprocal for everything. But for 0, so how can you write 0? You can write it as 0 by 1. So now what is the reciprocal? Here it is reciprocal. You cannot put equal to over. Okay. So 0 by 1, what is reciprocal? 1 by 0. Is it defined in mathematics division any number with 0? No. So therefore the rational number that does not have reciprocal is 0. Understood? Now the rational numbers that are equal to the reciprocal. Just now I have shown you 1. What is it? 1 by 1. And in the same way take minus 1. Can I write it as minus 1 by 1? What is the reciprocal of it? Numerator will go to denominator and denominator will go to numerator. So that is equal to plus divided by minus. Minus 1 by 1 is 1. So reciprocal of minus 1 is minus 1. In the same way reciprocal of 1 is 1. So therefore what will be the answer for this one? The rational numbers that are equal to their reciprocals is 1 and minus 1. There can be so many numbers. Suppose for example, how many numbers are there between 1 and minus 1? How many? If they ask integers, okay, if there are integers between 1 and minus 1, how many? 0. Only 1 are there. 0 is the only integer. And how many natural numbers? Natural numbers between 1 and minus 1? No, none, because 0 is not a natural number. How many whole numbers are between 1 and minus 1? How many? Only one, that is 0. 0 is a number. So therefore one whole number you have, and that whole number is 0. And rational numbers is between 1 and minus 1. I will explain you in the next video. So rational numbers between p by q form, they are infinite. Okay, infinite. So rational numbers are infinite, but integers only 0. Natural numbers none. Whole numbers, yes, we have one number, that is 0. Rational numbers infinite. Okay. Now the rational number that is equal to its negative. So what is equal to its negative, my dear? See, for example, if I take number 1, the negative is minus 1. For minus 5, 5. But when I take a number 0, what is the negative of it? 0 only, because 0 is the only number which does not have positive and negative. So that means negative of 0 also will be negative 0 only, because if I put even minus, there will be no change. So therefore 0. Got it? Now 0 has dashed reciprocal. What is it? No reciprocal. The numbers dash and dash are their own reciprocals. 1 and minus 1. Good. The reciprocal of minus 5. I'll pause for 1 second. The reciprocal of minus 5. Pause it and think. Reciprocal means numerator to denominator, denominator to numerator. So it is 1 minus 1 by 5. Reciprocal of 1 by x, where x is not equal to 0, because 0 cannot be in denominator. It is x by 1. The product of two rational numbers is always a rational number. In closure property we have studied. The reciprocal of positive rational number is, for positive rational number reciprocal is, see, positive. We have shown before. Now representation of rational numbers, let us see in the third video. And if you like the video, press the like button and here share it with your friends so that they can be good in concepts of rational numbers, and sharing is caring, right? Come on, share, like and subscribe. Thank you. If you have any doubts, contact me. You have my number, message me. Okay, take care, bye. Wait for the third video.